Hi, guys. Welcome to the Get It Done podcast with Erin. So today we have a guest. Her name is Lada. So what I do is season two, I'm basically interviewing business owners about who they are, about their businesses, what they're doing, and their journey along the way. Um, and I basically just connect with a bunch of business owners that I do not know. I have not talked to. A lot of the times they like want to have conversations prior to the podcast. Excuse me. But I would prefer to talk to them live once we start the podcast. So today's guest, I've never talked to her, never met her before. I will though be in a couple more weeks. I will be talking to or couple more podcasts down, I will be talking to people that I do know and that I do have relationships with. So I'm also excited about these people. Um I have to give a shout out. So Lucy we met through she is one of my facial clients. She comes to get her facials. So when she first started coming to get her facials, she had a food truck. Um And then one day I just seen on her page she had a I don't know what it is, like a little barista is maybe what you would call it. But it is it's Sierra Mexican cuisine. She is in Southgate, but I had her I am a coffee lover, so they have their own coffee brand. Um This coffee is so good. I have been drinking it because I've been working a lot lately, but I've been drinking it every day since she brought it to me. And it is absolutely amazing. So shouts out to Lucy. Thank you. But let's get started. Lotta is here, so I will add her to the live. Um
Hi.
Hi. You're here, you made it. How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm really good, thank you. Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
All right, so I'll give you the stage. I'll let you introduce yourself and let us know what you do.
Sure. So, my name is Lada. I am a filmmaker, writer, director, videographer, and photographer. I'm originally from Russia. I lived most of my life in France, but now I've been in LA for 2 years now and just been working on my own creative
Nice.
projects and also, helping other people make their creative projects too.
But wait, so you've been in LA for 2 years. How has living in LA been?
It is great. It's very different from France, even from Paris. But I really love it. It's full of creative people and it's very motivating.
It's the best place ever, right?
Yes, it is.
What's your favorite thing about LA?
I think how there's always something going on. I love places like that where
Yes.
every day you cannot be bored. There's always something happening somewhere in the city. It's just yeah, you have to find it where.
Yes, it's always something to do in LA. So how'd you get started in your business?
Yeah, so I took studies in film production, and photography was more of a hobby on the side. And then once I graduated film school, so beside being on film sets, I also decided to provide videography services
Nice.
to different people. So artists for music videos or influencers for events, even wedding photography, of videography. And then I also started developing my own photography services too. I started doing portraits, fashions, events too, weddings or any business events. So that's how I kind of started. Honestly, I just started building up my portfolio and asking around to anyone, hey, do you need services? Do you need photo or video? And that's how I like build up my experience. And then sometimes I also assisted other people, not particularly for like wedding photography and videography. I assisted other people with more experience, and I kind of learned from them.
Nice. So it wasn't the goal to be in video, doing anything with video?
It wasn't the main goal was always, just focus on filmmaking and be on movie sets, but then progressively I kind of like find people who needed also like, more videography services and photography is the same thing. I didn't think that I would do as much photography than I am doing now in LA, but everyone needs product photography or headshots, so that's great.
Especially in LA.
Yeah.
So since you've been doing it, so is this what you want to do long term? Are you still, is the goal still to get into movies and stuff like that?
That's a good question. Definitely, my love will be forever linked to filmmaking and movies, but I do enjoy a lot, providing videography and photography services. And I think it's another way of developing my skills and learning different things and getting inspired. And, it's a great way of also like meeting other creatives or other entrepreneurs. And I think it's very inspiring. And so I definitely want to keep doing that. Maybe not as much as, the other filmmaking projects come up, but I do want to keep it for sure.
Yeah, nice. It's kind of like the part-time job to the full-time job in order. I mean, until
Exactly.
it fills up that space. I get it.
Yeah.
Um, so how'd you go about gaining your clientele? I know you said you were just like asking around, but how'd that develop into you having paying clients?
Yeah, so at the beginning, obviously, I was offering my services for free or for a very low stipend because I was still building my portfolio. And then once I got more experience, then yeah, you have like all these Facebook groups, Instagram referrals, and sometimes also like just directly like reaching out to people, like directly emailing a business or like an artist or like sending them a message on social media, and that's kind of like how like I was sharing my portfolio. So either responding to people who are actually looking or reaching out to people who haven't openly said that they need services, but just introducing yourself, sharing your website, and saying like, hey, if you ever need, I'm here and I can work with your budget.
Nice. Did you ever work? Are you doing this full time?
So I would say almost full time because I used to do it, but now I'm a full time content creator. So
Nice.
photography and videography for like a one specific company. Uh, but it's yeah, it takes like half of my schedule, and the other half is like freelancing and doing like for different clients.
No, I mean nice. So, the goal of the podcast is to just so that we have context around the conversation, but the goal of the podcast is to at some point, hopefully this well, for one is to promote you and what you're doing and share your story and all that. Two is to eventually, or at some point, or even now, I don't know, someone would come across the podcast that is scared to just accomplish their goals, to go after their dreams. um so the goal is to basically inspire the person that's not doing what they desire to do. So speaking from your position and your experience and your story, what would you have to say to her or him, just as far as to keep them, to have them get on it and do whatever it is that they want to do?
Yeah, of course. I think one of the best advice would be just like, just start and like stop making excuses because very often we try to like wait for the right moment or like, oh, but I'm not ready yet or I don't know everything about whatever I'm trying to do yet. So let me just wait. Let me just learn a little bit more.
Yep.
Let me wait that I have a little more time or like, always trying to like find a way. And I think it's a way of like it's like kind of like our fear pushing us back, but I think it's okay to sometimes like just start and figure it out along the way. And you can make quick progress, and I think you will make more progress if you actually start doing that thing than just waiting and sometimes procrastinating when you're like just spending time learning. And like learning is great, but at some point you do have to start.
You
It
gotta
can
do the
become a
work. Yep.
yeah, at some point it can become like a form of procrastination of just like learning and not doing it. And I think yeah, experience is like the best way of learning how things work.
I agree. Do you have a time or an experience since you've been in business that you can share that, I don't know, like something that, or a situation where you just had to pivot, like what you doing or what you were doing, it just wasn't working and you had to change things to make things different, create a different
Yeah,
outcome, I would say.
yeah. I think I used to. Well, definitely for photography, I and my the whole career switch actually, like when I started after my film studies, I graduated from film school, and I was like very like, okay, I'm just gonna be directing and screenwriting and just be on film sets, like that's what I want to do. And anything else that's not that is like not worth of my time, or like not interesting, or not like just worth it. But then when I moved to LA, like I had more opportunities to do photography for people in fashion or in music or actors, whoever, and also videography. And at first I kind of resisted it. I did it, but I wasn't putting 100% of my efforts, I would say, to be honest. And then I kind of
Why
realized like
not? Because
it's
in your mind you wanted to focus on film or
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter that much. That photo shoot, like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Of course, I'm gonna do it well, but I'm not gonna like let my creativity be like fully enjoy, like fully
your
expand.
heart wasn't in
Yeah, and then
it.
I realized, well, it's actually super fun, and actually, like some things that I learned doing these projects for the other people, I actually reuse them for my own things, and actually, I was like, yeah, no, it's worth my time, and I think, yeah, I should not like, even though that was not what my dream career was, but actually, it turns out pretty good because I had some amazing opportunities and moments too. So I think yeah, sometimes like you have to like stop forcing yourself to be in one path, because sometimes going to different paths can open like even more opportunities and can actually be better than what you thought.
Yep. So that happened to me. I went to esthetician school only because I wanted to like do something on the side. I was working full time. I
Yeah.
mean, I knew I wanted to at some point get out of working a job in full into full entrepreneurship. Um but the idea came from I wanted to do lashes and I found out legally in California you can't do lashes unless you were a licensed esthetician. And I was just like, I am not going back to school. So eventually I went to visit a couple of schools. Long story short, I enrolled in school, but while I was in school, I ended up falling in love with facials. And like facials are like the joy of my life. Like lashes, I still okay every now and then. I get a desire to do them, but facials, I can do them every day, all day. But that's just an example of like just stepping forward and doing the
Yeah.
thing, and then seeing just what comes from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, um, can you share a situation or a area or something that has had a huge impact on what it is that you're doing? A
uh
connection, a person, a mind, anything really.
yeah. I don't know, a few months ago, I it kind of clicked in my mind that like you don't have to stay in one field, particularly as an artist. You're like, oh, I'm a painter, so I'm just gonna be painting, or I'm a singer, I'm just gonna sing. But like I can't, and I think it's also like being in LA and seeing like people doing so many things that like it
Hmm.
switched my mindset from like France, where everyone is like very close-minded, and like you pick a career for like the rest of your life. But it kind of like clicked to me that like as an artist, or even like a business owner or whatever, you can have like different fields of experience, different areas of practice. And I kind of realized that, yeah, if I want to start, making clothes or painting or, composing, like I can do that. Like it's okay. I don't have to like do photography and filmmaking for the rest of my life. I got like,
Yes.
it's cool if that's what you want to do, but you don't have to like force yourself that, oh, just because I studied that, or like I started this like 5 years ago, now I have to go all the way until I'm like 65. Like it's fine to like do different things, and it's actually so much more fun.
Yes, you're not a tree. So yes, that is the
Yeah.
great joy of being in business, we can go whatever direction we want to go. Or just not even being in business. It's just the joy of being a human. Like we can
Yeah,
decide today we want to do this, and then a year,
exactly.
tomorrow, whatever, we can do something else, and it's okay.
Yeah, totally.
How do you define success in business? Like, what's your idea? I know we all have our own ideas. What is your idea?
Yeah, I think it is like being able to work on the projects that you love and like turning those passion projects into like, oh, this is my dream project, into like, oh, I just did my passion project right now. We just finished working on it. Obviously, everyone wants to have like financial success, but I think, yeah, like being able to work on what you love is actually like a big part of success. And not just working for other people project, but also like, yeah, that one big project you had in mind that you always wanted to do, and being able to bring that to life, I think that's like a big success.
I agree. um, what do you think about competition?
Oh, can be stressful, very stressful, and it makes you
Really?
makes you doubt. But I think it's also a way of like helping you to find who you are as a business owner or as an artist, and kind of like develop your style and your uniqueness so you can stand out, and kind of like understand that just because someone picked up someone else than you doesn't mean that you're not good. It's just maybe their style or their services that they provide like fit more what they're looking for,
Hmm.
but maybe you're gonna fit more someone else. Like it's not like, oh, who's good, who's bad. It's also like, yeah, everyone has their area of expertise and their style, and then people
We're
are
all different.
choosing who what they're vibing with.
Yeah. Do you pay attention? Like, do you like go look up your competition and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Yes.
see. It's not like I don't see them as competition. It's more like I do like look at what people around me in the same level or higher level do, because I like to like have some inspiration and
Yeah.
kind of find out like what's going on. And so it's great to like see someone else doing something that you never thought, like it never clicked in your mind, and then it gives you another idea, and then like that. I think that's great. It's like it's more like inspiration than like judging or like spying on the competition.
Yeah. So funny. So are you? Where were you before you came to LA?
I lived most of my life in France. Yeah.
And, and so, do you miss your family?
Yeah, I do. I do. I don't see them as often, of course, as as I used to, but
Have you gone home since you been here?
no. But
No.
my mom visited me for Christmas, and it was her first time in
Nice.
LA, so that was
Oh,
fun.
nice. Did she like it?
Yeah, she loved
That's so
it.
cool. What is the hardest part? Did you came by yourself?
Yes,
What is
correct.
the hardest part of it? Because I have moved twice out of state, though I was still within the
Yeah.
country. But none of my family was there. None of my friends were there. Well, one of the times one of my best friend and I we moved, but like I know how it feels to like just get up and move and have no friends or family there. So how does that feel for you, and how are you handling it?
I mean, like it did feel hard because LA is a hard place to move to. It's very challenging, and sometimes you may feel like you're in survival mode. But I really loved it. I think it's like it's just because I love the mindset of Americans and people in LA who are super ambitious and just make things happen. I was like already very happy to be here compared
Yeah.
to staying in France. So I think, yeah, that like that mindset, and also like the keeping your eyes on like the dreams that you have, like really helped me a lot to just
Yes,
like
LA is
go through
very
hard times.
yeah, LA is very inspiring.
Yeah,
And anytime I leave my house, any little thing, I'm always just like I always come home
yeah,
inspired.
yeah.
How do you handle setback?
I think I just keep working. Whenever I get
Same.
rejected, or didn't get accepted to a program, or a client said no or something like that, I just keep working so that like I keep my mind occupied. And I think now that I'm working on different projects at the same time, that makes it easier, because if I receive one no, it's okay. Like I have other things going on anyways.
Yep.
So yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Just trying.
Do you believe in work-life balance? Some people, it has to be set in
Yeah,
stone. Yeah.
yeah, no, I do. I mean, it's hard, and whenever you think you found it, like something changes in your work or in your life, so now the balance is all like changed up. But I think it's definitely important, and like rest time is really, really important because you don't want to burn out, and also, you know, when you rest, like that's when you get like some imagination and ideas for like your next projects, your next business, or your next art project. So I think yeah, you really have to. But it's hard. Like I don't. There's no perfect like work life balance, and it's specific to everyone and to different times of your life too. So I think it's like you should not put too much pressure on you if you're like still struggling because I feel like everyone's struggling with that. So
I don't believe in it. I
oh
just
yeah.
feel like whatever I'm working on, that's what I'm
Oh
focused on. And then, like, once I'm comfortable in whatever project that I'm doing,
yeah.
then maybe I'll give myself a little bit of time to like do something or like, but I just think, like, I don't know, but I like to hear people's answers to that question because I'm like, am I the only one that feels like this? Like, am I the only one that's like, because I would just work, work, work and keep going. But
Yeah.
it's only because I really enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Exactly. You
not
have
doing
to
anything
enjoy.
that I'm like, ugh. So I enjoy my work and it doesn't feel like work at all. And I think
Yeah.
that's huge. That's a huge factor in, especially working for yourself to really enjoy what it is that we are doing. Um,
Totally.
so what do you absolutely love about all of your projects? Like if you ball everything into one thing, like what is your ultimate favorite thing about them all?
I think how on each project, I always find a way of like meeting new people that I learn from. There's always something to learn from someone, or just some great people that then I definitely want to bring on other projects. And something very satisfying is when you're meeting new people on those different projects, and progressively, you're rehiring or collaborating with the same people again, and then you're bringing new
Yeah.
ones, and progressively like you feel that you're like starting to build your dream team, and that everyone, like the rhythms of everyone and the personalities match, and like everyone's so efficient and know how to work with each other. Like that's so satisfying just to see
Yeah.
to see that
It,
happen.
once the flow is created.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard, it takes some time, and
Yeah,
sometimes you
because
also
people are
fail.
out here peopling, girl.
Yeah.
I
Everyone's
know.
busy.
Yes. Um, do you have a favorite project like out of everything?
Yeah, I do. My last project that took me forever to make. It's a short film that I initially wrote in France, and then I moved to LA, so I had struggled to make it happen because I need a French producer, and it's a kind of a complicated project, so it kind of required lots of planning and some elements that not every producer was okay to do. And plus we had a budget from a film grant, so we had a funding, but it was still low budget, so it was a challenge. And but it was great. We filmed it like a month ago now, and that was where like I had my favorite team on set, and everyone worked so well. And I don't know, I really think it was like my most beautiful project so far that we all created together.
And I think anytime we have like a restricted budget for a project, we have to be like our most innovative,
Yeah,
our most
yeah,
creative, and that's how it all works together. I love that. And we learn the most in those situations.
yeah.
So what was it about? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so it's a short film about a woman who returns to her hometown in Russia to see her father. She hasn't seen him in years, and he's sick, so she wants to confront him. But when she arrives, it's too late. He just passed away. However, she meets her half brother that she didn't knew he existed. So a new bond is gonna be created between her and her little 7-year-old brother.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So when you do your short films, where do you post them, or how can people find them?
Yeah, of course. So usually I use Backstage. That's where I go to, or some Facebook groups. But also, on my social media, on my Instagram particularly, I also post in my story. So that's where people can also find out those calls for the projects.
Are you on YouTube?
Yes, I have. I am on YouTube as well, and I post some of my short films. But most of my links are private because for film festivals, that's what they require. But I do have some public short films. Yeah.
So do you do film festivals?
Yeah. I do. That's what I usually do when I do when I make a short film. I send it to several film festivals, and maybe 6 or 8 months after, I only post it publicly on YouTube.
I have a Facebook business group, and I believe one of the members in that group is over, like she owned, or I don't know if they own it or what, but she I don't know, she produces a film festival, but it's a pretty
Oh,
big, I think it's
nice.
like the Pasadena Film Festival.
Oh,
Um
I think I heard of it. If that's the one I'm thinking about, yeah.
yeah, so I'll try to find her and get you her information.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that would
Yes.
be great.
Um Yeah, I think that it's the Pasadena Film Festival. But anyway, so um usually I'll do a little, it's just for fun, a little five. I basically spit out 5 words, in whatever word that you think, or whatever you think about when I say the word. Um Say it, but we're gonna do it a little different. So we're gonna do 5 words back to back. So I'm gonna say a word, and then whatever word you think of, you're gonna say it, and then whatever word I think
Oh, I
of,
love
I'm gonna
that.
say it, and we're gonna go back and forth.
Okay, I love it.
um, Kanye West.
Controversial. That was so funny to say first. I was not ready, but okay, let's do it.
um, Emotions.
Feelings,
Love.
passion,
Um, um, Drive.
drive, um, inspiration,
Work.
dedication,
Many.
opportunities.
It just went back to work. That's what it came.
I love it, but it's hard. But it makes you think like what word
Yeah.
pops out and what it tells about you yourself.
Hmm.
You're like, oh
And
wait,
then it
why I
kind of
said
like
that?
stayed in the same, like, because once you say passion and then you say love, and then like all of
Yeah,
that for me is like work.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, that was fun. What motivates you when you are just like, I'm over it? Like when you're ready to just quit doing it all. Like what gets you back in the groove?
I think ideas like so many times I felt like giving up. I was tired. It was like too much. Is it worth it? I feel like I'm just wasting my time. Like what if I just rest this time because like just working and then there's like an idea, a new idea, or like just thinking about another idea that you had, and that's what brings you back. It's like every time I'm like, I feel like giving up, but then I'm like, okay, but wait, but that project is kind of cool. What if I just do it? And after this one, I'm gonna give up, and then it just keeps going on, and you
It
always
builds
keep
that
going.
momentum back up. Yep.
Yeah,
um, I had a question in my mind where you were talking and then
he
it went
popped up.
away. But what sets you apart basically from your competition?
I think I mean, I hope it sets me apart, but my desire to keep growing as an artist. I kind of I always try to do more, to do something I never did before, get out of my comfort zone, and just always try to do something that I haven't done before, and try to do a little more, a little bit bigger, a little bit more difficult, more challenging, or just something like keep experimenting. I think that's the biggest thing.
So out of your journey, like what are you most proud of?
I think being in LA, I have to say that's one of my biggest achievements. Just being here in a city filled with creatives and being able to work with any other artist in LA, I feel like it's such an achievement because LA is like this city that everyone dreams about, and everyone dreams of doing a photo shoot in LA or like filming something or being on a movie set. And whenever that happens, it's yeah, you remember yourself when you were little, and you're like, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Everybody wants to be in LA.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to you 5 years ago and you 5 years from now?
Okay, so from five for the person 5 years ago, I would say that you know, there's always a solution, no matter how hard the obstacle is. And sometimes it really feels like there's no solution, but there really is. And from the person for 5 years ahead, yeah, I hope you're still creating and happy. Please don't keep going.
I love that. What is a good question to ask another business owner?
um, I think a good question would be like what motivates them to do what they're doing, and I think that's a good question. So like what they're going after, and kind of also like their ethics, and who they are. I think that's always a good question, knowing like why people are doing things, because you could do anything. So why are you doing this?
Right. So what motivates you to do what you're doing?
Just I would say being able to connect with people and also link to telling stories, no matter what, through videography, being on film sets, writing, or yeah, taking pictures. Just always trying to tell a story, my own story or someone else's story. If I'm working for someone else, just yeah, create a narrative and connect with people through that.
Nice. So have you been able to experience all the different food in LA?
Yeah, I love food
Ooh.
in LA. It's like so many different types. Yeah, like in K Town, Little Tokyo. I love going to eat ramen there.
Yummy.
And then Mexican food is really nice
Yes.
too. We don't have that as much in France, so that's nice. Yeah, and I'm trying to like eat like different types of food, like discover more. I have to do that. What about
Yes,
you?
you have a little bit of, well, of course, but we have a little bit of everything here. Like as far
Yeah,
as food, we have the
exactly.
best food. It's not always the best for our bodies, but taste wise,
Yeah, it's
we
always
have
good.
really, really good food.
We do.
What are you excited about in this season of life?
Um, I think I'm very excited about the next stage in my career, artistic career, because I feel like this year is really like the beginning of something bigger. Like I finally decided to be like, okay, I'm ready for like bigger projects, and I'm gonna currently working on those. So I'm very excited to see how those turn out and how it's gonna impact the rest of my artistic career.
Nice. Well, I'm super excited for you. I'm super
Thank you.
excited for your journey. Like this is very inspiring for me to hear somebody move from a whole nother country and they're just like out here making it. So like how
Trying, yeah,
inspiring is that?
yeah.
Have you heard or received any good tips lately? Like one thing you've heard or listened to or someone told you and you're just like, let me hold on to that one. That was good.
Yeah, yeah. I have a filmmaker friend, director, who one time we were on a set. He was helping me out on a short film that I was directing for someone else, and he said that line when we were done filming. We were just talking outside, and he said, you have to be, even though the doors of Hollywood might be like difficult to open, and it's always hard to get in, but the goal is really to be so good that they cannot ignore you. And I was like, this is inspiring. Just like, yeah,
Yeah.
do your best, and then it will be so good that they cannot ignore you anymore, and they will see your work, and whichever opportunities you're going for after, they're gonna happen.
Yeah. It's hard to deny the best.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for? This is usually my first question.
Oh, I love. I think I'm very grateful for the people who have supported me for so long. Like I mentioned before, so many times you do want to give up because it's hard and it can be lonely too. When you're like working on your project on your own, and the very beginnings might like feel you're not sure if that's going to work out, is that even worth it, but having people like friends, family support you is very, very important. And
Yeah.
so I'm very grateful like for everyone who helped out since the beginning since my student film project. And even like, so someone messaging you, a stranger messaging you on social media saying they like your work, or they just like keep going, something like that, it's always very inspiring.
So is there anyone that you have that like you can kind of contribute uh a big thanks to?
I think my mom, because she was always supportive. Whenever I wanted to give up, she would always tell me, "No, keep going. You're almost there. Keep going. Don't stop." And she was proud of me when, even when I was not happy, or I wanted to give up. So I think that's great from her to like always keep pushing me in a good way and be positive about what happens.
Thank you, mama.
Yes.
So tomorrow or by the end of this live or at some point, even if you've already told her, either send her a message or call her, find a way to get in contact with her and give her a big thanks.
That's true. I will definitely do that.
Okay, is there anything that you'd like to go over that we haven't addressed? Anything you'd like to share?
I think one thing that I would like to say to whoever wants to be an artist or an entrepreneur, launch their business, or work on any project, start a new project. um, I think it would be like believe in yourself. And I know everyone says that, but the way I'm saying it is like, when you talk about yourself to other people, when you pitch your project to someone, if you're asking for money or help or whatever, like always talk positively about you, because how can you convince someone else to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? And it's okay to doubt yourself. Like when you go home, you can hate yourself and be like,
Feel
oh,
how
i'm
you
not
want.
i'm not a good person, whatever, I'm not a good artist, I'm not good enough. Okay, but yeah, when you're like talking about yourself to someone, like always be positive and always speak about your work positively. That's also a way you're gonna create opportunities, because people will believe in you because there's already someone believing in you, which is yourself. So that's already a good thing.
That's a whole word right there because a lot of people are so full of fear and
Yeah.
doubt and negativity and just the opposite of what believing in yourself is. So that was just a word. um I would like to, are there any projects, your social media, how can you be found? How can people find you?
Yeah, people can find me on Instagram. You just tap my name, Lara Egorova, and you will find me. I also have my film production company called Wild Kids Productions. So yeah, Instagram and Facebook also. That's how people can reach out and message me if they ever want to work on a project together, or even just talk about anything they like, any advice or any ideas, anything. They can definitely reach out.
Well, thank you, Lotta, so much for showing up for me, for showing up for people,
Thank
but most
you.
importantly, for showing up for yourself. It was great talking to you, and super nice meeting you. We were like
Yeah,
meeting for the first time.
yeah, I'm so glad this happened. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was great talking to you, and I really love your questions and made me really think.
Thank you. And if you ever have anything you'd like to share, if you all ever want to come back, hit me up. Like I'm always open to somebody else coming back to share whatever it is that they are doing. So and if
Awesome.
you are ever in need of a facial, clients. I mean, people
Yeah.
that do the podcast, their facials are on the house.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that.
You are so very welcome.
Well, have a good one and thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. That was super cool. Thank you so much again, Lotta. That's a cute name, Lotta. And she gave a word at the end, like she said, believe in yourself, which is like huge. It's a huge thing when you are working to go into business for yourself, when you are working, or even just like making a decision to make some type of change. Like, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in whatever it is that you want, your desires of your heart. And you have to put in the work. Like, you can believe all you want, but if you're not doing the work, then would it, like, it's not gonna happen. But it first starts with belief. So we're gonna just end on that note. Don't forget to thank God for your blessings. Don't forget to say your prayers. Don't forget to get you some coffee from, I'm gonna tag every her cafe in the whatever this is chat box or whatever. Um but it's Sierra Mexican cuisine. I'm telling you, hands down, the coffee is bomb. I don't think she sells it though, like for home use. I think you have to actually go into the cafe. Um, but we're gonna try to push her to get people to buy it for home. Um, don't forget to thank God for your blessings again. Don't forget to say your prayers. Don't forget to take care of your skin. Matilda's Corner on all platforms. And if you have a business, if you are a business owner, I would love to have you on. Message me one way or another, and I will send you the link to sign up. I am talking to business owners because we want to hear their stories, because we are trying to destroy the spirit of fear off of the people around us, and then the people that are watching. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.